Senator Luján, let me reassure Mr. Goss that we will wrap up after Senator Luján. I know you have a very hard stop. You will be free to exit as I give closing remarks. You don't need to stick around for that, but do stick around for Senator Luján's question.
I would not want to miss those.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Goss. My line of questioning is for Ms. Roming as well. So I appreciate if someone has to get going as well, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Roming, my series of questions are yes or no's, and it's about Social Security as a program. Yes or no, is Social Security an incredibly effective anti-poverty program?
Yes.
Is it correct to say that Social Security keeps 22 million Americans out of poverty?
Yes.
In New Mexico, it's about 122,000 people as well.
That's correct.
Yes or no, Social Security helps 15 million American seniors stay out of poverty?
Yes.
Is it true that without Social Security, 38% of seniors would live in poverty?
Yes.
Is it true that Social Security disability and survivors is one of the most impactful anti-poverty programs for children?
Yes.
Is Social Security the primary life and disability insurance for almost all American children?
Yes.
In fact, Social Security is the primary life and disability insurance protection for about 480,000 children in New Mexico. Yes or no, Social Security lifts over 1 million children out of poverty each year?
Yes.
Social Security is also the most important source of income for the over 50,000 children living in New Mexico's grand family households. As we know, more and more grandparents are raising grandkids, just to highlight that. Yes or no, with longer life expectancies, is it true that older Hispanics benefit greatly from Social Security?
Yes.
In New Mexico, over 90,000 Hispanic households have received benefits. Is it true that without Social Security, the poverty rate among Hispanic seniors would increase dramatically? The numbers I have are from 19% to 45%.
Yes, that's correct.
And nationwide, Social Security lifts 1.3 million older Hispanics out of poverty?
Yes.
Yes? And lastly, I also want to point out that in New Mexico, Social Security provides benefits to 1 in 4 tribal households, resulting in about 14,000 households benefit. Mr. Chairman, the reason for my line of questioning is I appreciate the expertise on the committee and the questions that were asked before. I think oftentimes we fail to impress the importance of some of these programs that we're talking about. I certainly agree with the assessment from Senator Van Hollen that all of us, with our observation with the State of the Union, that the largest applause line, or one of them, came bipartisanly, Democrats and Republicans, not just clapping, but standing and clapping, when the President said we should not cut Social Security and Medicare. I agree with that. But it's also important to remember why these programs matter. And so as there are evaluations taking place associated with this President's budget proposals, many packages that we passed bipartisanly to make investments, historic investments in infrastructure across America, in the previous administration, revenues were dramatically reduced. There was a tax package that came across then, if I remember correctly, and I remember a lot of my constituents calling it a tax scam because what was promised was not delivered. Well, that was like $3 trillion, Mr. Chairman, if I remember correctly. So that plus where we are today, I mean, math is a funny thing. The statistics professor once told me that numbers don't lie, but liars can figure. You can make the numbers look like whatever you want. And I certainly hope that as we get to the bottom of this, I always have a simple approach, Mr. Chairman, that if indeed we all believe that these programs matter and that we should find solutions, that we develop them, put them on the table, stipulate to a set of facts, and negotiate from there and move a package forward that is going to be good for the American people. And so with that, Mr. Chairman, I want to make sure that I am respectful to Mr. Goss. I'll yield back the balance of my time. I appreciate everybody being here, what you've spent your lives doing, and what you continue to do. Now, let's just go and fix it. Let's make it better for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.